And then I came across a quote from Helen Keller that I really loved. Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. In other words, our actual security, our actual safety is up for grabs in this world of form. Always has been, always will. But our experience of safety, feeling safe, feeling secure, has nothing to do with that. It exists before that, and the only thing that can take it away is a thought, usually a thought about what might take it away. When I first began to feel differently about the relationship between my finances and security and the feeling of safety, the thing that I noticed more than anything else was I started to feel less needy. And then I noticed that the less needy I felt, the better my business got. The more people seemed drawn to me, the more deals I was able to close, the more obvious certain things seemed to me to do that turned out to be very financially lucrative. Now understand the difference between neediness, which is a feeling, which is made of thought, and need. I'm not suggesting people might not have needs that money can help them to address. But I'm actually suggesting, I'm not even suggesting, I'm saying neediness is an independent variable. It's 100% made of thought, and it comes and goes with our own thinking. Now, for you, I want you to just check in at this point. And I want you to ask yourself what you see about this. Can you see that your okayness genuinely is nothing to do with your bank balance? Or does it feel like it is, and it's okay if it feels like it is? I just want you to check in. I want you to get a feel for where you're at. Can you see the difference between the feeling of security and actual safety? Which, as Helen Keller points out, is not really one of the options here in this physical form. Can you feel in yourself the difference between what needs you may have that money might indeed help you address, and the feeling of neediness that kind of oozes out of people's pores? You probably can think of somebody who, when they ask you for something, you're almost repelled. And it's not by what they say, and it's not even by them. It's by that feeling of desperation, of neediness. Well, that's going on all the time. And so what's interesting about money and the work I do, and I've mentioned elsewhere in this program, I've worked with billionaires, I've worked with people in prison, I've worked with people on the streets. And there is no correlation between their level of security, their level of neediness, and their situation in life. And you probably know that for yourself. You probably can think of times where you have not had much, but felt totally secure, totally needless in a good way. And other times where you've been doing really well financially, but you've still felt insecure, you've still felt needy, you've still felt like, oh, I need more, I need more, I need more. It's kind of endemic in us. It's kind of endemic in our culture. That thinking is so much a part of the world. It's so much part of our cultural mythology that even if we're never told there isn't enough and you need more and more is better, you will have picked that up. And I'm just asking you to look and see for yourself, is it true? Because what I've seen is it's not true in the way I thought it was true. And there's something that happens to everyone when they become less needy when they become less insecure, that draws money to them. And yet all the books about money, all the books about finances are about what to do with it, how to apply this rule, not seeing that somebody who is secure in themselves, who is coming from a needless place, and I'm going to introduce this in more detail in a minute, and who is able to make a difference for others, will do really well financially no matter what. And someone who is doing all the right things but is coming from a place of insecurity and need will either not make money even if they're making a big difference, or they'll find a way to lose it. They'll find a way for them to have it taken away from them. That sounds a little more deliberate than I mean it. It's somehow they lose it again. Somehow it gets taken from them. Energetically, it seems as though the universe responds to our level of security or insecurity, needlessness or neediness. And so we put all our energy into the actions and strategies, which absolutely can be helpful, but totally miss what's going on underneath it, that either makes those strategies not work at all, or makes them work so well that the people who came up with the strategies go, "What are you doing?" Now, here's the thing. If you start exploring money from that needless place in you, from the security of being who you are, and the recognition of the fundamental insecurity of the human experience. So you're not trying to make something that is fundamentally up and down, constant and safe, but you're also not caught up in that. You will start to see things that you haven't seen about money. You will start to be able to see things for yourself instead of having to be taught them, having to study them. And you will become deeply intuitive. You will start to use your super sense, your sixth sense, your feeling sense to feel your way into making as much money as you decide you need for whatever it is you want to use it for.